Well, that's all, friends. But remember, we pay 250 quid for every clip we show. So send your DVDs and tapes to Free Post You've Been Framed. Or email your clips to framed@itv.com. Until next time, cheerio!
And Harry's back, bringing up some more of his views on the week's telly with his TV Burp next. Then Torval and Dean meet Take That, adding a bit of magic to Dancing on Ice. Followed at 7:45 by Scary Things in the Water as more monsters slip through the anomaly in our Saturday night drama Primeval. More on that next.
Town Council takes pest control very seriously, Mrs. Davis.
The anomalies never completely disappear.
You couldn't just give us a kiss, could you?
No.
Time for adventure.
Hole in one.
Probably best if you stay in the car, mate.
Primeval continues tonight at 7:45, ITV1.
The most brutal game of five-a-side you will ever see. Wax Boutique, Tuesday at 9, ITV2.
Facing the enemy, Australian cricketer Shane Ward tries his hand at bowling over the pub landlord tonight. Al Murray's happy hour is at 10:15. Well, right now, it's back over to Harry.
Welcome to TV Burp. Britney Spears celebrates that new haircut. Pat wins light switch shootout on EastEnders.
Thanks for wasting my time.
Oh, no.
And rattly wine on Coronation Street. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with some trepidation that I announce Australian Princess is back. Hooray, Matilda! Yes, Australian Princess, in which 12 ordinary Aussie girls learn how to be a genuine princess. And who is their trainer?
Our story begins in Sydney as the world's most famous butler, Paul Burrell.
Yeah, the world's most famous something, and the word I use isn't butler.
I was the head of Princess Diana's household for many years.
You really? You never mentioned it before. Fancy keeping something like that to yourself.
Gradually, the princess began to trust me more and more.
And I was able to snaffle away a whole transit van full of stuff. Of course not. They was gifts from the princess. Alongside Paul is his partner in crime, expert in princessly things, Jean Broke-Smith. And she seemed to have an agenda all of her own.
You've got a nice face, let's be positive. It's just that the image is wrong.
Yeah, no worries.
OK? She's somebody that I would love to really get my hands on. And I think she would like it as well.
Yeah. Try and concentrate on the show, Jean, eh? As the experts, what of the would-be princesses? Well, what's the most Australian name for a girl that you can think of?
I believe when people first meet me, they judge me straight away as to sort of...
Kylie Booby. Kylie Booby. Doesn't get much more Australian than that. Then there was 24-year-old Amy Manning, who likes dancing in her bedroom.
Hi, my name's Amy. I'm 24. I live in Sydney and I'm a graphic designer by trade. I love rock music. I love punk.
Oh, grow up. Followed by Leanne Churchill, who fancies herself as a bit of an extreme sportswoman.
Hi, I'm Leanne Churchill. I'm from Warrnambool, Victoria. I'm 30 and I want to be Australia's first extreme princess. You
haven't quite got the hang of that, have you, love? It's the usual thing. They're set tasks and get voted off. The task this week was a rowing competition. I don't make them up. And Paul and Jean were joined by Fergie's sister, and all three of them gave us a song. It's magic. Oh, would you believe that it's magic? There are two groups of rowers, and it's designed to test their ability to work as a team. But at the end of the day, it's just Australian Princess. I mean, it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? I mean, in the scheme of things, it's all fairly trivial.
Shut up! Shut up and listen to the leader in your boat.
Yeah, you think you may be drinking too much coffee, Paul? Maybe cut out those 2 cans of Red Bull mid-morning. Well, I must say I have been enjoying Monster Moves on 5, in which large things are moved. This week, they were attempting to transport a German aircraft from the Second World War, which was a little frustrating for them, but there's no need for bad language.
Pat has assembled a team of friends and keen amateurs to help him realise his dream, including his wife, Annette Spaulding, who shares his obsession for this aircraft. They've been coming every summer for 7 years in a row. They even spent their honeymoon searching for the Fokker.
It's a type of aircraft. Childish. Then they showed us how you transport tube trains around. I haven't made this up. This is an actual show. So I'm sure you're thinking, how do they make sure they get the trains in the right order?
What's the easy way of working out the numbers? Obviously, we've got to make sure we get the right one in the right place.
Yep.
The numbers must mean something.
Well, first of all, 65 is the motor car number. 03s is the unit number. But also, if you take this 65 and go down to the next carriage, it's 67, which is the one that runs, it's its stablemate, and they must always stay together. 3 and 4s go together, and 5s and 6, right the way up to 10. So we've got 10 units.
Bingo! Yeah. You use a 5-digit numbering system. What could be simpler?
There's number 6, and I believe that's the 7th unit up there, which is 10s. So the first one down will be 65, then 6, no, yeah, 65, then 67, and then 7s, 9, 8, 7, let's try again, get it right. 65, 705, 67, 705, 68, 6508, 67.
Surely, as long as you've got the engine on the front, what does it matter? Now, have you ever wondered what a robbery in a joke factory would look like? A bit like that, I suppose. This was Primeval. Yes, ITV's answer to Doctor Who. It's taken 2 years, but they've done it. In which creatures escape from the past into the present via an anomaly. Very frightening, that. The special effects in Primeval are fantastic. Oh, most of the time. It's a puppet! Here he is, look. Yeah. You all right there? Spit the dinosaur. Which brings us to our expert of the week from Britain's worst weather on Channel 4.
TV expert of the week.
A whiteout is where the air becomes full of snow swirling around, and all you end up with is a sort of whiteness.
Coronation Street now. And just what does Dev keep down his trousers?
Maybe we could even break open a packet of, Garibaldi, while we flesh out the future of retailing.
A packet of Garibaldi biscuits. Oh, thanks, Dev. There. Oh, there seems to be an extra raisin on that one. Go on, then. Meanwhile, Tracy Barlow was trying to get some money from Steve McDonald. He didn't seem to mind too much. He was flush. He was virtually throwing his money around.
Oh, cheers, Steve. You know what?
We make a really good team, me and you, don't we?
Yeah, well, that's it.
Well, 10 quid's 10 quid. And when I've saved up 1,000, I'll be able to leave my wife. Now, you're probably like me. When you're bored, you hook up the dog to the sofa and go chariot racing.
You can't do it every day now.
We all do it. Dog sofa chariot racing. It's actually been considered for the Olympics.
On your marks. Get set.
Get up there. Staying with Corrie for a mo, Kirk had bought Fizz a most unusual gift, an ant farm.
It's a load of ants in a box. I've never seen anything so boring in my life.
Oh, so you haven't been watching Wag's Boutique, then? But oh dear, one of the boutiques has been vandalised.
They smashed the main door in, whether it was done with a sledgehammer or something bigger, but smashed through there. Quite an impact, though, because the glass goes right back to the back wall.
I honestly think it's because somebody's watched the programme and they don't like us as a team. They hate us.
Sorry about that, girls, but it had to be done. Well, there was an awkward moment on EastEnders this week when young Ben started to ask some difficult questions about why people watch EastEnders.
Why?
For fun, for entertainment.
Really?
Yeah, it's cruel, isn't it? Laughing at all the poor mad people.
This was Ben's trip to the London dungeons with, oh, what's her name?
Stella? Stella! 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 Stella!
Jean, that's right. Ever wondered what would survive from a nuclear war?
I'm a survivor, darling. If there was a nuclear war, I'd survive it. Me and the Scorpions.
Yeah, just Pat and the Scorpions. And after a while, they would be forced to mate, producing a hybrid Scorpi-Pat, which has all the aggression and cockney fortitude of Pat Butcher, but with the fatal sting of the Scorpion. Very frightening, the Scorpi-Pat. But then, it's been a very frightening week on TV. I was forced to hide behind the sofa when I saw this poltergeist on Haunted Homes.
When Stuart and Christopher were quite small, went in the front room and the cushions were piled up on the coffee table in the front room.
Classic poltergeist. They stack.
Open the door. It's the cushion monster! But which is more frightening? The Pat Butcher Scorpion hybrid Scorpi-Pat or the cushion monster on Haunted Homes? There's only one way to find out. See you after the break. Go on, Pat. Get in there.
wake up to the great taste of Kellogg's cornflakes with a hint of honey.
Tonight, Al's inviting the old enemy over for a pint.
Australian cricketing legend, Shane Warne!
You do some amazing and generous work for people suffering from baldness. What do you reckon of this?
That's... well...
Al Murray's Happy Hour, tonight at 10:15, ITV1.
Welcome back to TV Burp. Richard Hammond gets job as shepherd. Elton John announces new tour. And new evidence on Australian princess that seawater rots your hair extensions.
I just want to prove that you don't have to be a supermodel or...
Isn't it annoying when you park a little bit too far away from the house?
Nice.
Yes, Inspector Moore's spin-off Lewis is back, where the baddie this week was a certain Mr. Platt, who was in a wheelchair, which is tough enough, but even worse when you live in a house with a sloping floor.
Anne?
Well, hey! But it didn't help, he was using a wine bottle to steer it.
We're investigating a murder. Dean Greeley?
We read about that.
We could be bothered.
He had quite a temper on him, this Mr. Platt. Maybe he was upset that the house was a bit of a mess and needed to tidy up.
Do you want me to clean the study, Mr. Platt?
No, not now.
Sorry?
No, not now!
Oh, all right, there's no need for that, is there? I think I might phone him up and tell him to calm down.
Yes!
Nothing. Love the show. It was quite a long show, this. 2 hours. Do you ever get that thing when at the end of the show, the final shot sums up exactly how you feel? Emmerdale now, and the big news was ex-Page 3 glamourpuss Linda Lusardi joining the village. And she certainly didn't waste any time making herself at home.
I was Mary's nurse. You know, his wife.
Yeah, I know who she was.
Well, I need to get changed.
Into a bikini bottom. The rest of the village were very excited, especially the gents.
Oh, and a white wine spritz.
Excuse me, my dear. You look absolute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were Linda Lusardi. Elsewhere, plans were at last underway for Tom King's funeral.
I am here now, and I will bury your father or have him cremated if I decide to, in my way.
I didn't know there were different ways of doing a cremation. Then I looked into it further. I've got the leaflet here, look, Emmerdale Undertakers. Let's have a look at some of the cremations. Well, there's a standard cremation, burnt in a wooden box. There's the wool pack cremation. The coffin is packed with high explosives and a light aircraft has crashed into it. Then there's the Bernard Matthews special. The body is flung onto a heap of 140,000 burning turkeys. Beautiful. Which brings us to our TV highlight of the week from Sleep Clinic.
TV highlight of the
Remember the farm of fussy eaters I was telling you about a couple of weeks ago? No! All right, hold on. There's a copycat show, Freaky Eaters Addicted to Chips, on BBC 3. Yes, chips. It tells the story of Sarah, who ever since she was 3 years old has only eaten bread and chips. Her poor mum and dad were at their wits' end. They tried all sorts of things to try and get her back onto a regular diet.
I've tried loads of things over the years. Cut a parsnip up to look like a chip. Just various things you just try and sneak into her diet to see if she notices it and she picks up on it straight away.
Disguise a parsnip as a chip. Nice one. Paint a carrot yellow. Get a packet of runner beans and write on it, chips. Maybe what you should do is stop buying chips. Stop buying chips and heating up oil and cooking chips. On this show, we were introduced to nutritionist Natalie, who discovers Sarah's a little anemic and needs some iron. I could do with some iron, actually. I wonder what the best foods are to get it from.
To get 40 milligrams of iron into your diet, you could eat 1 14-ounce steak, 3.5 servings of spinach, or if you really want to push the boat out, 64 pints of Guinness.
I feel a lot less anemic. Problem is, after all that booze, I fancy some chips. Sarah is set a task at the top of the show.
As an incentive to change, Benjamin and Natalie are setting Sarah a challenge. In a month's time, she'll have to try something she's never done before. Go to a restaurant with Darren and order something other than chips.
Yeah, go to a restaurant with Darren and not order chips. So, a month later, let's see how she gets on. The climax of the show. Drum roll, please.
Can I have just... Where's it gone? Just chips with a tomato sauce dip.
She orders chips. It's a great show, that, yeah. Really worthwhile. Take someone who just eats chips and transform her completely into someone who just eats chips. Nick Baker's Weird Creatures now. And this week, Nick was searching for the star-nosed mole of Canada. And, as usual, he starts his journey in the Natural History Museum, where he finds out they're a relation of the shrew. I must say, I do think it's very good of Sir Trevor MacDonald to lend them the top of his head to display their shrew on.
It's got this long little snout.
Good evening, and here is the news. From the Natural History Museum to Canada, to try and attract his mole, he needs some bait, so he pays a visit to Manny's live bait store and meets some leeches.
Look at that. Are these bloodsuckers or are these snails or another one?
Yes, they eat snails, frogs, what you call ducks, geese, anything that basically lives in a pond.
Leeches eat ducks and geese. Well, they work in gangs. 2 of them grab a leg each, pull them under the water. Another 4 leeches pluck the feathers off it. The further 2 prepare the orange sauce. The good news is Nick actually catches his mole.
There he is.
Oh, that's great! Look at that. That is the most peculiar thing.
There's a mole in my bucket, Nick Baker, Nick Baker. There's a mole in my bucket, Nick Baker, on mole. This was the last in Nick Baker's series, and I'm really going to miss him. Said you were leaving, someone swept your heart away, and from the look upon your face, I'd say it's true. Tell me, how am I supposed to live without you? After I've been loving you so long, how am I supposed to live without you? How am I supposed to carry on when all that I've been living for is gone?
Cheeky git.
See you next week.
Coming up next, it's Dancing on Ice. World skating champions Torval and Dean will be premiering an exclusive brand new routine.
When they'll be performing with Brit Award winners Take That, who'll be singing live in this studio.
The screaming will be unbelievable. And that's just from Holly. Dancing on Ice, next.
Every town has its stories.
A little wine, a little gossip.
Every town has its troubles. Every town has its hopes.
This is about tradition, it's about this town, it's about the spirit of keeping this town alive.
But only this town has the Panthers. Separate lives, same dream. Friday Night Lights. A new series, Wednesdays at 8, ITV4.
On the island of New Guinea, this bird of paradise is about to attempt to find a mate.
I'm a love man. Call me the love man. Ooh, baby, I'm a love man. That's what they call me, I'm a love man. I'm 6 feet 1 weight, 210. Long hair and pretty pale skin. Long legs and...
But you are not a bird of paradise. Ever wondered where you'll find a date? At Friends Reunited Dating, you'll find 500,000 people, which means there's sure to be someone special waiting for you. So to find romance, friendship, or even true love, search free at friendsreuniteddating.co.uk. You'll never know unless you go.
Turn down the lights, light a scented candle, and soak the night away in your Norwood bathroom. Or turn up the heat, season to taste, and prepare to serve and dine in style in your new Norwood kitchen. And then, when it's all quiet, slip into something more comfortable and dream about your beautiful new Norwood bedroom. So simply call into Norwood today, book your free design survey, and right now, there's free fitting on all kitchens and bedrooms. Norwood Interiors. Simply Norwood.
This is a subject that really got me good. It's about this chewing gum. I've been chewing it till my mouth gone numb. The people want taste, they want flavor. But this is like giving a gum 10 years of labor. What is? Trident soft gum. Could this be a delicious option? Right! Man, it's good. It's got flavor. I can taste the peppermint. So soft, I can savor. I got to tell the whole world. I see you all later. Listen as you wash your undercrackers. Me taste buds exploding, and me think it matters. People, I think the time has come. Wrap your gums round some Trident gum. Let your taste buds share the elation. Try the Trident. Masticate over the nation.
Disguise is our best weapon. No one sees us coming. We're the elite.
Stealth. That's the only way. Avoids a drawn-out conflict. Sneaky beaky.
We sent 2 portions of undercover vegetables into our smooth tomato sauce for kids. Knorr ragu for kids. Put Knorr in, get more out.
I've always loved Elnet. You know why?
Elnet from L'Oréal Paris.
It's so fine, it disappears at the stroke of a brush. My hair feels like satin. It holds perfectly. For me, it's the best hairspray in the world.
Elnet, L'Oréal's finest hairspray used by the finest stylists.
Because you're worth it.
Irresistible fragrances from Surf.
A double murder.
Joe Gilchrist, aged 21. Found dead early this morning at the hotel.
A deadly assassin.
Nicky Turnbull, shot and killed at 2:10 this afternoon.
But could a grieving widow
What?